I got pretty muddled. I'm sorry about that, but we're getting some sound from the church as well.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unity of Kanawha Valley. Do we have a bell ringer back there, Santa? Santa's elf? I'll light the Christ candle while Santa's elf rings the bell. Violet's going to help. Yeah. Thank you, Violet. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Kanawha Valley. We begin our service this morning. We lit the candle and rang the bell. And now we'll hear our opening songs from Ron and Jeff. Opening statement. Oh, yeah. How did I forget that? Okay, let's say that together. Next week, Laura gets to be up here. Thanks, Laura. Repeat with me our opening statement, if you would. You'll find it on the inside of your bulletin, and we'll say that together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. Now let's take that within for just a moment as we remove ourselves from all the anxiety, hustle and bustle of the outside. Just think on this beautiful thought. And now please affirm it with me once more. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And so it is. And now, Ron and Jeff will do our songs.
I knew it was too fast, but I couldn't remember either, Becky, what was going on. Would you please stand, and we will sing Surely the Presence, which is right inside your front cover. Surely the presence of our God is in this place. I can feel his mighty power and his grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on his face. Surely the presence of our God is in this place. Surely the presence of our God is in this place. I can feel her mighty power and her grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on his face. Surely the presence of our God is in this place. Okay, it's December. It's all Christmas hymns all the time. So, number 278, please. 67, please. 67.
Wow, you did sound great. Somebody sounded great, wasn't me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Kanawha Valley. Do we have any first-time visitors? I see some people that we haven't seen for a while. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Paul. How are you guys?
Good.
Let's welcome them back. Kathy and Paul. Anyone else here that we haven't seen for a while? Violet's back there getting her hair brushed. She's going to be all pretty. Hi, Violet. What'd she say?
She wants to see Jack the Pumpkin King.
Oh, okay. That's great. Let's see, our announcements this week. Join the Zoomers for the after party. If you're out there in Zoom land, you know who you are. And there's directions here on how to join. I'm sure you've been there before, and we welcome you back. The book study group Thursdays at 8, and Sky leads that on Zoom at 8 p.m. So join in with that. I'm not sure of the book they're studying right now, but it'll be well worth it, I'm sure. We are wrapping and bringing gifts for the children at Sojourners. We do this every Christmas, and it's really a wonderful feeling to know that you can help a child that might not get otherwise a Christmas gift. So we take those over at Christmas time, and it's such a blessing. Thank you for participating in that. The candle lighting service is Wednesday. That's coming up really soon, December 13th at 7 p.m. And Miss Pam reminds me that we need volunteer candle lighters, please. So please let her know. Pam there in the back, you all know Pam. And she will coordinate all of that, just like she always does. And Burning Bowl is coming up right after that, only it's January the 7th, so we get a little break. So it's 11 a.m. here at the service, and I missed that. Thank you. I don't have my glasses on. The Winter Solstice concert is one of the highlights of the year. Ron always arranges that, and we have a multitude of so many talented performers. It is such a heartwarming thing, and it really gets you in the mood for Christmas. So come out and join that. Tickets, you can purchase tickets for $20 ahead of time, or if you wait till you get to the door, they're $25. So just let Pam know if you want to purchase tickets.
For the gifts that we're taking to Sojourners, we're taking them down next Sunday. So
Is that right?
1 week left.
Yes. Bring them next week for sure. Yeah. Thank you, Phil, for that. Yeah.
All the proceeds for the Winter Solstice concert go to the Covenant House, which is an amazing organization.
Yes.
And we support them every year, so.
Thank you for that, Ron. And that says it right here, and I missed that. Okay. I promise I'll wear my glasses next time. I was off last week, and Janet didn't retrain me, so she's better at this than I am anymore. Let's see. We've done, the Barbie's journaling and group discussion, Unraveling Your Year workshop. It's there in your bulletin. It's on January 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. And we had the first fun, what was it called? The Fun Friday. Wasn't that great? We had such a good time. There were like 40 people downstairs painting at the same time. And we were watching, Kate on stage show us what to do, lead us, and we all went home. Well, some of us went home with better than other snowmen. Mine wasn't finished, but I tried. But we all had a great time, and and kids are invited too, so that was a great thing. Okay, that's about all I have, and now I'll turn it over to, you doing the welcome? Great, you're doing it all. You go, girl.
Just a couple things.
You want this?
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for spending this second Sunday of Advent with us. Unity is a special place where we practice positive, affirmative prayer and spirituality without dogma. Believe whatever makes sense to you. You're welcome here just as you are. If our service today offers anything that is helpful to you, please keep it. If you find anything to be disagreeable, leave it at the door. Part of Unity's practice includes taking time out to connect with ourselves. So let us do that now. Close your eyes if you like, or soften your gaze. Take a deep breath and feel your shoulders relax. Let a smile come to your face and say to yourself, I have peace. I have peace. Peace is within me. And then picture someone that you love being in front of you, someone who has brought peace to your journey, and thank them. And now, if you will, stand if you are able, and turn to somebody next to you, or go to someone who's sitting alone, and thank them for sharing this Advent with you. One of the best things about being a member of Unity for me is the fact that everybody is genuinely so happy to see one another. Everybody genuinely greets each other and wants to get to know one another, and it makes it a very, very special place to be. And I thank you. I'm going to now turn this over to Janet for a meditation.
So today is the second Sunday of Advent, and this is a day of peace. So prepare for a meditation. Just breathe in fully and deeply. Breathe in peace. As you exhale, let go of any angst or concern, and then breathe in joy. With a big exhale, release any fear. And deeply now, breathe in love. As you exhale fully, let go of anything unlike love. And with this next breath, take in appreciation for yourself and all you do. Release any fear and any feeling of hurry or worry. Peace is right here in this very moment. Feel your body relax and know the gift of peace. Life itself is found in your very breath. Inner peace is a quiet peace within that no one sees, that no one hears. It is a gentle and simple path. Each moment that we bring into our full awareness, we experience peace. We appreciate life. Find quiet moments, noticing, appreciating, allowing life to be vivid and joyful, or tranquil and serene. Fully embracing this moment brings peace. In these moments of focused awareness, you choose to see life and its many mysteries through the eyes of love. Through these simple and quiet moments, you find the peace you seek. At any time, wherever you happen to be, you can experience inner peace. Just notice the breath, smile, and know that you have found the gift of peace on earth in the midst of it all. So on this second day of Advent, we light the candle for peace. And as we light the peace candle, repeat with me, I sweeten the world by sharing my peace. And so it is. And now, our daily word will be read by Laura Wellstead.
Let's continue our peace journey with this affirmation for Advent. Peace is the song of my heart. As the Advent journey continues, I seek to embody peace. No matter what might be happening around me, I can rise above that which troubles and distracts me. All that takes my attention away from my spiritual life and my relationship with God. Peace is always mine, an aspect of my divine identity. When peace feels far away, I take it as a cue to center myself in spirit. I return to the practices that calm my mind and open my heart. As I relax and enter the silence, I touch the peace and perfection of God and claim that peace as my own. Returning to activity, I carry peace with me. I bring harmony to my interactions, calm to my reactions, and tranquility to every corner of my life. I won't just be peaceful, I will be peace itself. And scripture reading is from Jude 1:2. May mercy, peace, and love be yours in abundance.
This is my favorite Christmas song these days. This is a song written by Steve Earle. Once upon a time, in a far-off land, wise men saw a sign set across the sand. Songs of praise to sing. They travel day and night, precious gifts to bring, guided by the light. They chased a brand new star ever towards the west, across the mountains far. But when it came to rest, they scarce believed their eyes. They'd come so many miles, and the miracle they prized was nothing but a child, nothing but a child could wash these tears away or guide a weary world into the light of day. Nothing but a child could help erase these miles, so once again we all can be children for a while. Every little town, every day is heard a precious little sound, and every mother kind, and every father proud looks down in awe to find another chance allowed. Oh, nothing but a child could wash these tears away, guide a weary world into the light of day. Nothing but a child could help erase these miles, so once again we all can be children for a while. Nothing but a little baby, nothing but a little baby, nothing but a child.
Thank you, Ron and Jeff. I think that's my favorite one too. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, our guest speaker this morning is someone we all know and love. She is such a light here at Unity, and we just welcome her so much. Every time we see her, she has something really, really wonderful to impart to us. So let's give a warm Unity welcome for our Marybeth Beller. I'm sorry.
Yes. I can bellow to you, but it might be helpful to our folks on Zoom who are joining us. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. To get to real inner peace, we have to go to that messiest of closets, our minds. It's our minds that so often prevent our souls from having the peace that we seek. So stay with me just for a few minutes, and let's get real on our journey to peace. Have you ever wished somebody would die? I know, it sounds harsh, doesn't it? It really does. At various points in their illnesses, I prayed that my parents would die. Each of them eventually couldn't get away from the pain, and I watched them slowly cease to enjoy any aspect of life. And I really prayed hard that they would die. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about having a grievance against somebody that is so strong that you really wish they would cease to exist. I think it's worth consideration because this Sunday in Advent is about peace, and having such strong negative emotions is certainly a barrier to peace. The first time I wished somebody dead, I even thought about whether or not I wanted to be involved in helping that happen. My first husband was really pretty violent, and his favorite thing was to wait until I was asleep to start hitting me. Now, this was really rough because I had the 6 a.m. shift at Burger King, and I had to get up early, and I had to have time to put on makeup to deal with any swelling or bruises. It was really rough. And so there came a time when I really, really wished that I had a weapon. All these decades later, I am so glad that I did not have a weapon, because A, he'd have probably used it against me, but B, having a bad experience does not give me permission to be violent. I exited the relationship. I got lucky. The second time I wished somebody dead was when my mother was trapped in a relationship with her boss, who was also her best friend. These women had loved one another for years and reared children together, and we were one big family, and then this woman fell victim to her addiction with a vengeance, and she was very cruel to my mother. And because of my mother's age and lack of education, she was never, ever going to be able to get another job that paid what that one had. And she was stuck. And I really prayed hard and often that that woman would die. And the last time I wished somebody dead, there are only 3, but the last time I wished somebody dead, it was when my dear husband, Jerry Beller, was put in a position that almost got him arrested. You see, I had this cousin named Jane, and I took Jane shopping. Jane was 43 years my elder, and she was the first in our family to ever get to go to college. Not only that, she earned a doctorate degree. She traveled the world and taught for many years at American University in Lebanon. And as a child, I adored her. I looked so forward to her visits and her stories about all the things she'd seen in the world. And when she moved back to West Virginia as an adult, I still loved the stories. And I still loved and admired her education. But I became a little annoyed at her disdain for any rules, such as stealing glassware from restaurants or eating fruit in Kroger's. And we would go shopping, and we'd go down the aisles, and inevitably we would get to the cashier, and she would hand the cashier this empty peel of banana and say in the most pitiful voice possible, "Would you please charge me for this fruit? You see, I had had no food today." Now, I fed Jane before we went shopping. And the cashiers always fell for it, and it made me furious. But she was really good at what she did. In my last month of pregnancy, the pressure on my back was such that I could no longer take Jane shopping because it literally took 3 hours to go down every aisle while she ate her grapes and bananas. And so my dear husband, Jerry Beller, said, "Okay, I'll take Jane shopping." Jerry is smarter than I am on so many levels. And rather than go down the aisle with her, he simply sat in the car and read a book, which never occurred to me. So one day, Jane comes to the car with a buggy full of groceries. Jerry gets out to help load them to realize that they weren't packed. So Jerry starts to ask why the groceries aren't bagged when it dawns on him that it's because they probably had not been paid for. So he turns Jane and the buggy around. They go back into Kroger's, go through the line and make sure the groceries are paid for and bagged. And when he got home, he told me about this story. And I just saw red. Because Jane was family and we had to take care of her. We didn't have any choice. But the deal is, Jane was at this point in her mid-80s and she walked on a cane. She always had lovely, long, elegant dresses and wore her hair in a French twist and always had this beautiful pearl necklace on. Kroger's wasn't going to prosecute Jane. Come on. But my husband? Now, he was a man in his prime at that point. And if he'd been caught loading those groceries into his car, well, you can imagine. So I was furious, and I wished Jane dead. And I resented every holiday meal where she was present. I took peace and joy away from myself by spending all that energy hating Jane. When Sky challenged us in November to write 3 things a day for which we're grateful, I recognized the challenge as one that a mentor had given to me years ago. She said that the brain likes to solve problems, and so when things get really, really bleak, we should ask ourselves, well, what's going right for me? And when we find an answer, we should ask again, and what else is going right? And we should keep asking what is going right until we build a list of things for which we can be grateful. I love this unity practice of gratitude. It's healing, and it brings a smile to my face. And it also brings peace. But the challenge for me, and I suspect for many of you, is to find gratitude for the bad experiences, and therefore find peace inevitably, even during Advent, when our mind takes us back to relive the negative. I can find peace through reframing a negative memory in 3 different ways. First, I can take a metacognitive approach to the situation in order to find out what the experience taught me about myself. Second, I try to recall the good qualities of the person with whom I had the negative experience. Third, I try to come up with a list of the good things that I learned through going through that negative experience. Unity author and Daily Word editor, Reverend Teresa Burton, writes that peace is an inside job. Peace is an inside job. And so our challenge this Advent is to keep peace within ourselves, even when our mind wants to turn to the negative. Metacognitively, I learned that the real reasons that I wished those people would die had much more to do with me than it ever did with them. In each of those situations, at least for a while, I felt powerless. I'm afraid of losing control because I might get hurt. Barbie Dahlman challenged us about a year ago to find ways of living without control, to go with the flow and just see what happens. I still think about that a lot, and I'm not even close to getting there yet. But you know what? Knowing the problem's half the battle, right? So there is hope. Increasingly in my life, I'd love to find ways where I didn't have to be in charge. And so I think we should try to practice what Barbie suggested and let go a little bit. Several years ago, I told a mentor about a colleague that got on my nerves. I vented and vented. And when I was finished and told her all about the reasons I hated working with this woman, she said, you probably hate it because you see in her qualities that you dislike in yourself. Ooh, really? Ouch, ouch. It made me think of a line by Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson that I grew up to as a child. And I never understood the line, but now as an adult, I could. The song is called Don't Cuss the Fiddle. You might remember it. And the line is that picker there and trouble boy ain't nothing but another side of you. When I see a trait in somebody I dislike, I think about that. And I say, is that because that trait is really in me and I'm seeing a mirror? You know, some of the things I think about now with respect to my first husband was that I learned some principles of Zoroastrianism from him. This is one of the oldest Persian religions, and it's based on this fierce script of dualism. Zoroastrians see the world through a lens of a continual struggle of good and evil. They acknowledge that we have the freedom to make good and bad choices, but they believe that ultimately the universe is going to have the powers of good overcome the powers of bad. The unity principle that human beings have a spark of divinity within them suggests that we are inherently good, even when we make bad decisions. If we believe this, then we have to apply it to everyone. So, is my first husband good? Was my mother's boss good? And what about dear cousin Jane? You know, I can find rationales for their behavior. We can blame it on their upbringing, blame it on disease, blame it on a perverse sense of superiority that absolves one from any crime, whatever. But the real thing that is important, at least for me, is to let go of those grievances. I may not have behaved in ways that they did, but I'm certainly no saint. If I can make myself believe that I'm inherently good, while acknowledge that I don't always do my best or behave well to others, I can also seek the good in others. After all, my first husband was an amazing percussionist, and he was an excellent cook. So there. To have peace, then, we let go. We say goodbye to grievances, and we practice gratitude, which brings us peace. We recognize that the negative experience is only temporary. We do not let it affect our inner spirit. I've learned through unity to practice gratitude for all the goodness in my life. I've also found ways to be grateful for the bad experiences and what they taught me. I've learned to be resilient. I've learned to better value good men who seek partnerships rather than control. I've learned to work really hard to build a versatile skill set so that in the event that I need to change my work environment, I can. I've learned to think of the position that I might put others in when I do something wrong. I'm really, really lucky to be alive. It was tough for a while. And while I don't want to relive those years, I'm grateful for what the experience of an abusive relationship taught me. I learned independence, which is fortunate because so many victims of domestic violence don't, and they continue that pattern of getting into bad relationships. My mother's boss didn't die, but she did get fired. And while my mother had really rough years with that, eventually she ended up in a job where people valued her and loved her. And in time, her children had careers where we could help her financially to get on her feet. And Cousin Jane, well, she died. But it wasn't because I wished her to. I've made peace with the past. I've learned not to eat fruit in Kroger's. And I've learned to pay for my groceries. And for this, I am thankful. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great, Mary Beth. Will the ushers please come forward? Let's repeat together the ushering or the prayer, offering prayer, thank you, in the bulletin, number 2. Divine love moving in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, I trust God, and I am grateful.
See a brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed. And if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. You got to try a little kindness, yes, show a little kindness. Just shine your light for everyone to see. You've got to try a little kindness, and then you overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people, of the narrow-minded street. Don't walk around the down and out. Lend a helping hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you show every day will help someone along the way. Help me out. You've got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded street. Let's give it up for Jeff on the piano, man. You got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. If you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded. Let's do it one more time. You got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try
Thank you, Ron and Jeff. That was great. Let's bring our awareness to our heart space, that space inside where God resides and where we are one. And from this space, we bless these offerings as we give a portion into the community to help bless others, giving and receiving from an open heart, creating a divine flow of love and peace. We are so grateful for this wonderful church, grateful for everyone here today, all those on Zoom, grateful for all those that share their time, their talents, their treasures, and so grateful for Unity's message of God's love, that God loves everyone unconditionally, all the time, without exception, and that we are all one with our beloved. And we say thank you, thank you, thank you for this truth. And so it is. Amen. And now let's get together in a circle for our peace song. And I am the prayer chaplain, even though I don't have my badge on today. Whoops. And we'll sing a peace song.
Thank you, Marian. Do we have any birthdays to celebrate? Anyone?
Your Christmas birthday?
We have a Zoomer birthday, a lady from Hoover, Alabama. We reach far and wide in the Zoomerverse, and her name is Joyce Catalane. Happy birthday, Joyce Catalane.